Hi everyone, it's Kristen Williams with the Williams team in Austin, Texas, your local real estate expert. I am here with some really good news. This week was a big week for the housing sector in the United States. The Fed met, they had a 2-day meeting that ended on September the 17th, which was this past Wednesday, and they decided to lower the federal funds rate by 1/4 point. So what that means is that the federal funds rate is the cost of borrowing money. Now, mortgage rates don't exactly fall in line with the federal funds rate. They follow more in line with the 10-year Treasury. Yet at the same time, when we see a graph looking at the federal funds rate and then mortgage rates, the mortgage rates coming down typically tend to follow. So this is positive, good news for home buyers out there, because that means there's going to be a little bit of relief in the mortgage rate that a buyer would be charged in order to borrow money and buy a home and get a mortgage. The lower the interest rate, the lower their mortgage payment. Mortgage payment is one of those number one deciding factors for a buyer on what price point they can afford, because so many things factor into what a buyer's monthly expenses are, and the interest rate impacts that more than anything else. So these lower rates are going to allow buyers some relief. They'll be able to afford a slightly lower mortgage payment for the same priced house. And so this is really positive news for home buyers who've been kind of waiting on the fence and on the sidelines for rates to come down. Well, they're coming down. The Fed also announced that they're likely to lower rates later in the year as well, maybe 2 times this year. I don't want to be overly optimistic, but I am optimistic that things are headed in the right direction, and that housing has been one of the hardest hit sectors since interest rates went up in 2022, and it sounds like we're starting to feel some relief and some optimism in the housing market. So if you have any questions about any of this news, I'm sure you've seen tons of headlines splashed everywhere. Reach out. I'd love to have conversation with you. If you have any questions about what your future home buying or home selling strategy looks like, just reach out. We're taking tons of meetings with people who want to plan for the following year or later in the fall. So we're just happy to meet with you and answer any questions and just be of true guidance and counsel for you in your real estate journey. Have a great weekend, everyone.